Good morning from Jonesboro, Arkansas, March 7th, 2024, 7:31 a.m. I want to update a video I just did for our cost for driving 2 electric cars in February. Now, normally our electric bill only changes maybe a tenth of a cent, 2/10 of a cent. Look at this. It dropped almost half a penny this last month. So where I did have that, I want to change it to this. But we're going to talk about more than just that. Okay, and of course March, I don't know what's going to be yet, but I just used the previous month until I get the bill in. Here's the problem. The bill doesn't come in until usually the 7th or 8th. Yesterday it came in the 6th. It comes in as late as the 10th. And it's due on the 15th. I usually don't wait for the bill to come in. I just pay something so I know I won't owe anything. But they don't give you much time to pay the electric bill. Anyway, it all comes down to this. Here's how I figure what the price per kilowatt hour is, because it's not on the bill anywhere. I had to call and get this information here. This is my solar panel production 2024 sheet. It's the worksheet where I just put this is what most of all this stuff refers to. The worksheet, most of it. Okay. Go back down here where we were. Look at this. If I used over 1,000 kilowatt hours, I use this graph. Under for the month, I use this graph. And here's what I do. Kilowatt hours from day after previous read date through current read date, because our read date is usually around the 20th of the month. The solar panels produced from the day after the read date in January until the read. Okay, I'm getting myself confused. Anyway, 137 plus 553. And then we're charged 261 from the grid. So our solar panels produced this and this, charge this from the grid. You add those together, 951. See, sum B82 to D82, those three numbers. Okay, 951 is what we used. 27% came from the grid, 73% from one astronomical unit away, the sun. All right, so I'll put it right here, 951. Now, we get charged $3.80 customer charge. Now, the minimum fee is $7.60 a month. That's the minimum. So you're going to pay that, or you're going to pay for whatever you use. Customer charge, $3.80. Then cost adjustment for this month, it really dropped. 0.1538 cents a kilowatt hour, 0.01538. That was $14.63 for the cost adjustment. The first 140 kilowatt hours, this is what they charge per kilowatt hour. The next 860, they charge this. And I have to use this graph because if it's over 1,000, look how cheap that is. So anyway, then you have 8.5% tax. You have the total electricity value and the cost per kilowatt hour. Now, I just did let's change this to 261. See, look, just what we were charged for, 261. We were actually charged $24.42. This was 1 cent off. So this is right. This graph is right. 1 penny off. I can't ask for any better than that. 7.9 cents a kilowatt hour. That's how I get that, in case you are wondering. Now, somebody sent me a message just the other day and said, hey, you need to add a column, or you should add a column for the $200 EV fee a year. And I'm thinking, well, that's always offset by oil change savings. But let's see, it's $200 extra to get tags in Arkansas. Divided by 12 months. That's $1,666 a month. Now, last month we drove 1,671 miles. But of course, there's 2 EVs, so we have to save $400. I'm sorry. Divided by 12. $33.33 a month for the stupid EV tax. Divided by 1,671 miles. See right there. Equals. Now that's another 1.99 cents a mile. Let's say 2 cents a mile. Okay, so that's 4 cents a mile now. All right, but now let's look at the gas cost. Okay, this EV truck costs this EV truck. Okay, actually this right here, 2.2, then add 2, it'd be 4.2 cents a mile. I'm sorry, I was on the wrong month. 4.2 cents a mile if you add the EV fee. Okay, let's look at this. 200, let's say 2 oil changes a year. He gets an oil change every 5,000 miles. even though it's probably not necessary at that time, but that's what he does, my friend that owns this truck. So let's say you get 2 oil changes a year. He thinks it's about $80 in oil change. He said next time he gets it done, which is going to be next week or so, he's going to let me know exactly. $160 divided by 12. That's $13.3 a month, okay, for 2 oil changes. You add that to $243.90 for gas, then you're looking at $257.23. That's what it cost to drive that truck that month. So that's an extra $14. But then you got to multiply by 2 because we would have 2 of these because it's 2 cars. You can't compare against one truck. So that's $27 a month extra for oil changes for 2 trucks. $27 a month. That's $33 a month for tags for 2 cars, EV fee. So you see, it's real close to canceling each other out. But you say, he don't have to get done every 5,000 miles. As a matter of fact, I had him look at his oil indicator life and it still had about 30% left. So, you run the numbers and you'll find that yes, the EV fee for 2 vehicles is probably a little bit more than the oil change fee for trucks. But then if you want to get technical, these tires are smaller. So you have to count for the mile. You have to count for the cost per mile of tire replacement. Getting tires in his truck, his 4x4, is going to be more expensive than these. The thing is, you could argue that you can legitimately argue this thing to freaking death. You can argue it to death. The only thing really to do is to do what I did here. A total cost of ownership, TCO, for each vehicle. And my friend's not going to be able to do that. And I don't blame me because I'm the only person goofy enough to have all these Excel files and keep up with them. If you really want to get technical, that's the only way you could really compare them. But yeah, you can argue it to death. You can say, okay, you got to pay the EV fee. You got to add that. Okay. Then you have to add the oil changes that I don't have to get in the truck. Okay. Then you have to add for the extra tire cost for the truck. Okay. But then you have to add for whatever for the EV. And then you have to add for every 50,000 miles or so or 100,000, whatever it is, getting the transmission flushed in the truck. You go back and forth all day long. That's why I don't add a column, even though I've considered it. But there's nowhere to put it, and it offsets, and I don't know. I just don't want to, I guess. But 2.2 cents a mile. What was it? 4.2? Yeah, 4.2 if you count the EV fee. Per vehicle. That's still so freaking cheap. Still way cheaper than any of these cars, except for maybe this one. The cheapest overall may actually be a good high mileage hybrid. Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if you ran the numbers. You found this would be just as cheap, actually. Because there's only a $50 hybrid fee every year compared to a $200 EV fee. $150 to pay for a lot of gas, but look here, we save $66 in 1 month, and that'd be a $100 fee for 2 of these if we both drove these. So, compared to 400, so it'd be $300 a year. So anyway, I don't know. All right, y'all feel free to run your numbers and let me know what you think. And let me know also if you think it's disingenuous for me not to add the EV fee, or if I'm right. And whatever you think is what you think. I'm not going to criticize you for it because I can see the argument to both sides. Yeah, you should count it. Yeah, but then you have to start counting other stuff that the truck has or the Cherokee has that the EV doesn't have. Okay? All right. Hey, you have a good day. Thanks for watching.